Even the Russian papers seem a little surprised by some of Donald Trump's controversial cabinet picks, starting with the nomination of Fox News host Pete Hegseth as Defense Secretary. The ultra-pro-Kremlin Komsomolskaya Pravda writes, "Some of his views you can agree with, but others make your hair stand on end." There's lots about his tattoos, some of which we're told are related to the Crusades. In conclusion, it's unlikely that this war dog will do much good for American power. And that's a good thing. The Russian government paper Rossiyskaya Gazeta reports that Trump's nominees have shocked Washington. There's talk of panic. Take the pick of Tulsi Gabbard for Director of National Intelligence. She was critical of Joe Biden's military support for Ukraine and of his attempts to drag Ukraine into NATO, which provoked the conflict with Russia. Appointing a person with such views to run a department coordinating the work of all US intelligence agencies looks like a slap in the face of the Washington foreign policy beau monde. Front page of Izvestia, Switzerland is ready to host a Putin-Trump summit. Now, this is a good example of how important it is to read a whole article and not just a headline. Because although the paper kicks off by saying Switzerland is ready to host talks between the leaders of the US and Russia, the Swiss Foreign Ministry tells Izvestia, read on and you discover that Moscow is extremely sceptical about Switzerland's neutrality, since it backed anti-Russian sanctions. And a host of other possible locations for a potential future summit are mentioned, including Slovakia, Hungary, or what about a country in Asia, Africa or South America? India perhaps, Vietnam, Egypt, South Africa, Brazil, maybe Saudi Arabia or Qatar. In other words, pure speculation. Moving on to this man, sociologist Josef Diskin, he's not concerned with summits, but with statues. Actually, with Stalin. "I cannot stay silent any longer. I think that in time for the 80th anniversary of victory in World War II, we must put up a statue of Stalin at the Baklonnaya Hill War Memorial." He laments the fact that there is no decent statue of the Supreme Commander-in-Chief of the Workers' and Peasants' Red Army, Generalissimo Joseph Vissarionovich Stalin. And yet this leader he wishes to celebrate also terrorized his own people with the purges, the Gulag, the Great Terror. For those reasons, all the Stalin statues got knocked down when Khrushchev came to power.